Op is 18 and goes on Reddit asking how to introduce her 44-year-old boyfriend to her parents. I'm 18 and I've been dating a 44-year-old man for the past 2 months. He was my first kiss and took my virginity. I've been telling my parents I'm hanging out with my friends when I'm actually seeing him. They have some suspicions that I have a boyfriend, but probably not that I'm in a significant age gap relationship. I'm not expecting a lot out of this relationship, I just like older men, and it's more of an FWB situation than a serious long-term relationship. For more context, I currently live with my parents, and I'll be headed to an Ivy League, Yale, in the fall. I've always been a good student and a well-rounded daughter. This is to say my parents trust most of my judgment and decisions. I'm running out of excuses to use to see him, especially for overnight stays and vacations. I want to come clean about him, but I fear some backlash, even though my parents are a decade older than him. Should I just tell them I have a boyfriend but lie about his age? Or just keep my head down until I move out? Or just tell them the complete truth? I'm scared of them not letting me see him anymore. I got slightly attached and I really enjoy how he makes me feel. My parents and I already have a difficult relationship, so I keep a lot of secrets. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Oh sweetie, I would react very poorly to this situation. You're less than half his age. As a 43-year-old man myself, 18-year-olds look like little kids to me. I know you don't feel like a kid, but I want to make sure you understand what people his age see when they look at you. This is disturbing. Think about it, maybe to you it feels cool and adult to date an older man, but from his perspective, what is wrong with him that he can't get women his own age, or even just out of college, or even college girls, and has to go all the way back to high school to find someone so inexperienced in relationships that they won't see the red flags that are all around him? I'm tempted to call him a pedophile. How do you view this relationship? If he got you pregnant, would you feel safe having children around him? What if it's a little girl? Do you plan on taking this man as a husband? Let's say you finish college and then settle down. Have a kid at 26, which is a pretty reasonable age to do that sort of thing. He'll be 52 when the kid is born. 70 when the kid graduates from high school. Keep in mind that the average life expectancy for men in the USA is 76 years. There is a good chance he won't live long enough to see your kid out of college. Would you have the means to support yourself if he passed? And then there's the replacement factor. Clearly, he likes young women. Maybe girls. How long before you start to worry that he's going to try to trade you in for a younger model? Don't throw your life away on this man. Don't mistake him paying for things or taking you to dinner for true love. Maybe it is. But I doubt it. This age gap is well past reasonable. Frankly, I think you should tell your parents and let them protect you with the full force of the law, but I also doubt that you do that given this response. You're wide-eyed and love how he makes you feel. I suspect this won't end well, and I don't want to see you hurt. Ultimately, only you know if what you feel is real or not, but please consider the red flags. Don't just ask us here on the internet. Talk to other people who know him. Introduce him to some friends so they can say what they think. Maybe you have a cool aunt or someone more experienced whom you can trust with your secret for now. But I'm concerned for your safety in this relationship. It isn't an even partnership, and you are being taken advantage of, no matter how you may feel about it. Ops downvoted response. Oh yeah, no, I'm not foolish enough to believe we have a future together or that we are in love. I just see him for dinners, sexy times, and trips together. It's not very serious. My parents are curious about how I'm spending my time though, so opening up about this would get rid of having to come up with elaborate lies and explanations. He's my temporary fun, I'm his ego boost and temporary fun. I see things very pragmatically, and I have a good understanding that it's not a tender love relationship, just some short passion that benefits both parties. Maybe him a little more. But I do like him, and he has respect for me and my boundaries. Commenter 2. I'd probably explode, to be honest. And if he was dating you or took your virginity before you were 18, I'd probably go to the cops as well. Ops downvoted response. He looks really good for his age. I'm genuinely attracted to him. I feel like I'm the one using him for segs, not the other way around, lol. Commenter 3. Consider who you might be in 26 years, what you'll likely have seen, experienced, hated, loved, hurt, and been hurt by. With all that under your belt, would you honestly be able to relate to an individual who hasn't experienced any of it? Would you feel truly connected? Or do you think that maybe those years would have turned you jaded toward the world and that seeking out innocence and naivety would be an outlet to either escape the harshness of what you lived or a way to try and protect an innocent from what you lived through? Try to understand what they went through that brought them to a place where they felt entitled to take the virginity of a youth, to be the formative relationship of that individual, to risk ruining all future relationships for them at such a young age just because of their own desires. The most mature thing they could have done was to not pursue you, but here you are. Keep your walls up, do your investigations. The moment you discover the root of their motivation or the crux of their immaturity, that will be the moment you can truly know who they are, and I really doubt you'll like it. We all want to be desired, but it's more important to be desired by someone who has authentic and honest intent, not just out of necessity or as a coping mechanism. Meet some of their friends, longtime friends. Have candid conversations when their guarded narrative is down. Reassess your worth in their eyes. If their true intent is to give you as many opportunities as possible from the earliest age they could, they probably should have had a child and nurtured it from birth. But who knows? Just enter into what you're already deep into with rose-colored glasses, but take them off at moments to make sure you still have 20/20 vision. Just because someone else has regrets doesn't mean you have to as well. Ops response. I really like the way you worded this. I've been crying this whole day. The comments in this thread really made me take a long look at myself, and I'm really disgusted by all the things I've done. I should have been more proactive about therapy. I shouldn't have done these dumb things when I know better. I should, but I don't. I'm just scared of the world. I don't have a lot of people to turn to for help. It was the perfect storm of loneliness and desperation, and a lot of stress from college decisions, which I thought would make me really happy. But the highs are high, and the lows are really effing low. I'm really disappointed in myself. I don't know how to not hate what I've done. Commenter 4. Psychologist here. Don't beat yourself up. You are an incredibly intelligent woman, Yale. That doesn't mean you're emotionally intelligent and wise beyond your years. Falling for an older man is exactly what any 18-year-old would do. You have a right to be your age. Chalk this up to a life lesson. It will hurt for a while. Breakups are tough. You will know so much more the next time around. And you'll be able to empathize with other people who fall for it. That's an incredibly valuable experience. Welcome to New Haven, I'm here too, and enjoy your young adult years. Update 1 week later. I wanted to give an update on my last post. I'm very grateful to everyone who shared their wisdom with me. I didn't know how an internet community could change my life and mindset in such a significant way. I broke up with him a few days ago and have cut him off from my life, forever, permanently. I'm restarting CBT therapy with my previous therapist, whom I really connected with. Each session is quite expensive, which has motivated me to cut spending on clothes and makeup, but I think it'll be a small price to pay in the big picture. I'm going to pursue healthy relationships once I'm ready for them. Maybe I'll find a cute guy at Yale who can handle this storm. Thank you again, Internet family, for saving me a lot of grief and trauma. I was lucky enough to make a smooth exit from an imbalanced dynamic. My eyes were open to how I glazed over the issues, gaslighting, and love bombing. It's going to be the summer of love, self-love. Second update 6 months later. It's the 18-year-old Yale undergrad who dated a middle-aged man half a year ago. I now realize just how troubling the entire situation was. My time at Yale has been really, really good, to say the least. Adjusting to East Coast weather was a change, but I've formed a solid, supportive friend group here, and my baseline happiness is the highest it's been in years. Basically, college is great, and I'm excited for the upcoming years. As I'm maturing and gaining more life experience, I'm looking back on my past decisions with a sort of sympathy and wistfulness. I didn't know anything, and I still don't, but I was at a really vulnerable phase in my life, spending time with men who cared much more about satisfying their own self-interests than protecting my well-being. I can recognize this now after immersing myself in a peer group that genuinely cares for me and looks out for my best interests. People who don't just say they want the best for me, but actively push me toward living my healthiest, best life. In truth, when I first posted about my much older boyfriend, I didn't fully understand the intentions and meanings behind the comments I received. I was defensive and convinced that I had power in the situation and would be perceptive enough to move on when it came to an inevitable end. What I failed to realize was that my heart was still young and hopeful, and that I would make excuses to justify an older partner's hurtful actions toward me. Issues can occur in any relationship, but in a 20-plus year age gap dynamic, it's too easy to place the blame on yourself as you assume the older party knows better and will act better. It was me who said the wrong thing. Me who didn't show the right care. Me who wasn't good enough to not be discarded after he had his fun. I was, and still am, young and sweet. I thought I chose to see the best in people and was a better person for that, but in doing so, I neglected my own wants and needs. The men who saw this weaponized my kindness and patience. They saw an easy opportunity to sleep with me and use up my emotional energy for their benefit, and I told myself that it felt good to be useful and that I wanted to provide that for them. And maybe it did in the moment, but it comes crashing down when you realize their true intentions and how little you mean to them when you thought you meant a lot. It is difficult to be a girl. And I am often a lonely and insecure girl still working on healing myself. I didn't want to believe that someone who held me, kissed me, and said he wanted everything good for me could view my innocence and trust as a path to access my body and company. It is twisted, and I don't blame the younger me who fell for such traps. I wanted to be cherished and loved, and I didn't know the right place to look or have people to direct me to something more sustainable and healthy. The sheer humanity shown toward me during that period of my life keeps me hopeful. I was a lost child, unsure of what to do or what was right. I had little guidance, and I sought that in people I believed I could trust and confide in. I'm very thankful for this community and how it changed my life. I have new things and experiences to look forward to every day, and love and loss may enter that process, but the guarantee I know now is love for myself. /relevant comments. Commenter. I remember your post and seeing the comments and your response. I was, at the time, trying to think of what I could say to get through to you, but honestly couldn't think of anything. So, what do you think could have gotten through to you, now, looking back? Ops response. That's a great question. I'm not sure. When you're young, you're hopeful and believe you're the exception. Warnings sound superficial until you actually grow to be perceptive enough to realize their weight. I guess the best response would be a non-judgmental push in a healthier direction. I did not have a healthy relationship with myself and my appearance. My relationship with myself is worlds better now, and that has bled into my romantic pursuits. It's all connected.